artists, creatives, designers, welcome to DreamAloud Art. It's so good having you. We have a very special guest today, Dave doing art now, and make sure that you go ahead and follow Dave. He is tagged in the pinned comment below. And if you're just coming through and you're just browsing, you're just looking around, and you're just wondering what are these two people talking about, go ahead and follow me also at DreamAloud Art. And when you follow me, click the link in my bio so you can see the full artist interview, y'all. IGTV only has 15 minutes, and you know these interviews go much longer than that, so make sure you subscribe on YouTube. So, Dave doing art now, so good having you once again. So, let's start from like square one. For those that are viewing and they don't know anything about Dave, what is essential that they know? You know, what do you do, or what things do you do? Who is Dave?
Oh, wow. I'm Dave doing art now. I'm an
question I'm
artist.
asking you today.
But it's all right though. That's what I like. So,
Yes.
you know, I'm an artist. Somebody who loves to, you know, to talk about the Black experience. To be honest with you, like I love depicting cultural heroes and cultural standings. So, you know, somebody who loves to play with the human face. I'm somebody who loves to study history. I love history. I love learning things. And I'm so
I get that vibe from viewing your work as far as history is concerned. I do get that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And whatever I learn, I put through my work. So that way it's something new that you can learn as well. So, you know, I'm something, not to deal from KRS, but I'm a bit like, I like to edutain a little bit, if that's okay. So,
okay.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I got you. Okay. So, So is there any other forms of medium that you dabble in?
My main one.
Or even with painting, is it different? Are there different kinds of paint that you dabble in? You know, like, or is it just one mainly and you go forth with that?
Okay, so I got different ones. It's kind of leveled on my time. So like for instance, this is watercolor, and then I did Copics on top of it. And then I'm doing live art. I'll actually just go in with acrylics, and I'll do those on canvases. And I'm also going, like, I'm also relearning how to do Procreate again and do digital because I missed it. So it's like, you know, I need to relearn that and put that skill set back in my arsenal.
Okay, Dave doing Procreate. All right, I like that. Well, I certainly look forward to that venture. Should you continue to put some energy in that direction. I would definitely love to see that. I'm a big digital girl. I love digital. I embrace it. But then of course, essentially I have such respect for traditional forms of art, but I love all of them, obviously. But okay, all right. So let's and that's a good paraphrase, at least as far as your introduction is concerned. So let's go back. Let's go way back. Okay. What is the earliest point that you can recall where you really you were really interested in your own creativity, and you're like, let me put more energy and focus towards this? Has it been that way for the extent of your life, or was it there was a turning point for you where you're like, you know, this area that I haven't explored much, maybe I should, and you just went off in that direction? What has that been like for you?
I think it's been gradual. So I think it's been that I've always drawn. I've always loved to draw. Like I remember, I tell the story a lot nowadays, but I tell the story, I used to just draw on walls all the time. I didn't know anything. I was like 4 or 5, and my father was trying to tell me to stop. And I mean, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I would for a minute, but I would go right back to it and not trying to get back in trouble. But he would do it, and even after he beat me or whatever. But it's just like, you know, after I got in trouble. Like my father was a great man, but you know, so after that, I think he kind of understood, like, this is what I want to do. Like he likes to draw a lot. After that, he kind of let my he helped me to. He put, like, him and my mother, my parents, they made, like, you know, see, like, Dave, I got this book for you, or Dave, like, David, you like to draw this, you want to try your hand at that? Right. They also knew I was a big comic book and sci-fi fan, so they were always giving me stuff to fuel my imagination, and that kind of, it just went gradual. Oh, I love that. And gradual. What is that? But
so
it went
you
high.
Started to gain their support.
Yeah, from a young age, they've always been supportive. So in fact, my sister, she's a graphic designer as well. So, you know, she's been doing
Oh,
great stuff. You know,
oh, nice.
yeah, she does stuff around the DMV area. I'm very proud of her. She does great things. You
Oh,
know,
that's
yeah.
cool. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have anything on your page of hers, right? Because I don't think I knew that.
I actually posted.
I don't think I knew
I
that.
actually posted in my story earlier
Oh,
some
you
of her
did.
work. She did a great. She did a great poster, a great graphic design poster of the music that's been going on right now. I think she posted. I
Oh,
posted the one that
snap.
she did for Erykah Badu because she's a big Erykah Badu fan. And then there's
Oh.
one that she did. Oh, you are too?
Oh, yeah, I am, but I didn't see that. That's why I was like, oh, really? You know, I didn't see
Yeah.
her story post or anything. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she does great stuff. So I reposted that, and then there's one that she also did of the Teddy Riley and Babyface that went on last night. She did one
Oh,
of that. It
yeah.
was really great. You know, really good
Oh,
work.
okay. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well, shout out to her for sure. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see some of her stuff. Well, you know, oh my goodness, I love to see everybody's stuff, but yeah, I really would. Yeah, genuinely. Okay, that's cool. Good. So is your sister the only other person that has explored her creativity? It's just you two who have, or has it been like that throughout your family line too? Anyone else who's explored the arts?
We patron so I guess everybody else, they patron the art. They do love the arts. They do love dancing. They do love
Right.
music. They love art.
Okay.
So I think everybody else is more so like they patron it, and they have like valuable critiques, criticisms, or evaluations of the art. So I've learned a lot from them. But as far as like creating art, I would say myself and my sister. And we're both left-handed, so that helps out. As is my father. So
both what?
We're both left-handed, and my father's left-handed.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. My sister's a lefty, and she's actually on the comments over here too. So she's hanging out. That's a big thing for her. So all right, very cool. Yeah, I was curious about that, and I'm always curious about the background, the upbringing of whomever I'm having a conversation with, because it can be very difficult especially if, example, no one else is an artist in your immediate family, and then it's just like you kind of stand out like a sore thumb. So it's always valuable to have that support, and regardless, within your family is huge. That is big. But what about outside of your family? Have you had some writers that have just been there, just rooting you on for forever and ever ever since you started?
That's the thing about being in the DMV, because I feel like when I started doing live art, I started about, I would say, 2016.
I have questions about that.
Oh, yeah, please. Right. I love it. When I got with fellow poets, and not fellow, I don't write poetry, but when I got with fellow creatives, poets, other artists, dancers, things like that, when that happened, it in turn influenced my work. It motivated me. It motivated me to do more, and kind of try different techniques, try different styles. That's what I love about this area. Is I really believe, not to get on a little tangent, like I really believe this area is going to pop very soon, and I can't wait to be a part of that. So
yes,
that's what
you already are. Look, you already are. You're already making that a conversation, and continuing to make it a conversation. And you're in the DMV. Like I'm here, I'm in Virginia, but I get it. And before quarantine, I had plans to get out there and really connect in the community and make this more of a conversation, or continue to make art a conversation. But everything in its time, everything in its time. And as soon as you speak it, and so it is, for sure. Yes, so let's get into the performing and doing live art. Okay. How did this begin? I guess I'm wondering, because there are so many artists and there are a lot of artists that it's not a problem, but for so many artists that are a little more introvert, and in the sense of they want to complete it privately, just complete it privately, and then when it's done and finished and ready, whatever, then they can show it. But how did this idea start? What started it? What was the motivation to actually perform live art? Where did this come from?
Really all started, like, I used to work, as far as that though, I used to work at an art center, and it was run by Parks and Planning, and one of the teachers there, his name is Mario Bloom, at Mario Bloom. He's an awesome artist.
Mario Bloom, okay.
Mario Bloom, check him out, he's great. He one day said, like, hey Dave, I see you doing your artwork a lot, so I'm doing this show, like this open art show.
Okay.
At it was at Red Rocks in Northeast DC. And he said, right, like, you know, come on out, like, I want you to come out, display your artwork, and, you know, what have you, just come on out. And so I went, and it was a great time, and I fell in love with it. Actually, pardon me, I did Red Rocks with him later, but it was Smith Public Trust. That was Smith the first time I did it with him. So I went out there, this is late 2016, and I went out there to set up my artwork, and then once I was there, I actually saw how other people set up their work, what other styles they were using, how they were with the people, how they were engaged with the people. So I saw a lot of that, and I was like, wow, this is really dope. And you know,
I got a different energy, I'm sure.
Great energy and creative energy, you know, welcoming energy. So I did that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing this a little more often. And then that led to, you know, people like me asking people, and then people asking me to come out and do different shows and things like that. So is it your own show, or you team up with someone else, or both, or like what is this experience like? It's been so much that, like, it's been thus far that I'm teaming up with people. I've been,
all right, nice.
Say for instance, like Us Boys and Poets. They're like, you know, the host will ask me, like, come on, do you want to do artwork that night behind me, be the live artist? And I'll say, yeah. So I'll come out, do open mics, have some of my work over there to showcase and sell. And you know, it'll go like that. Talk to the people. I love talking to the people. And and it's such an energy to do that behind, like, when it's different to do it by yourself than it is here from you. I actually prefer to do it in front of people now. Because I feel like when I'm behind them, I can hear the rush of the crowds, or even hear the rush of the words. You know, that invokes me to do something different. I made like a different brushstroke that I had in mind, but then once I heard that, it's like, well, no, let me do this instead.
It is. So it's just all of those things and elements are part of the experience, so it's going to change. Right. So just like example, if you are creating something, however you're creating it, or any artist is creating something, if you're creating it in silence, that's a different energy. Then you create listening to music. What kind of music? You know, like, and then to be in front of people or have people, it's all a change. You know, it's a change, and something is going to, there's going to be an element that changes how your work comes out because of that energy.
Absolutely.
I'm with that. I am definitely with that. So do you have any advice for anyone who would entertain that, but maybe they're a little bit shy? Like, it sounds like a good idea, but I don't know, you know, about getting in front of people. What would you advise or share with individuals who have that challenge?
I would say be open. Just be open to it. Enjoy the process. And then this is just in general, like, enjoy the process of the work. Sometimes, like, use that, use that to motivate you. Use that to get something more creative out of you, because those things, you know, for me, it helps me to see more creative things, therefore think more creatively. So be open to these things.
I'm with that.
You know?
All right. Yeah, that's a good spin on it. Very true. So throughout your life, and you know, this is where you're going to educate me and everyone else on it, but throughout your life, where has been the what has been the biggest challenge as far as being a creative and standing in your truths and saying, this is what I do, this is my passion, this is what I love to do? What has been the biggest challenge in that?
Wow, that's a good question.
Wow,
that's a great question. What has been the biggest challenge?
That's what I'm here for. But
you know, sometimes getting over your fears or your humps. I would say that, like, you know, just like, okay, I think there have been times where it's like, should I do this? but I feel so willed. Like I believe in it so much, and I'm willed, and I'm a very spiritual person by nature. Okay. So like if I'm willed to believe it, if I'm willed to do it, if I can't stop thinking about it, if I know in my heart like, nah, Dave, you got to do this.
Yeah, it's your intuition.
So I think initially, I think with that question, it's like, you know, having to come to terms with it. This is what you have to do. This is what God put you here to do. God put you here to bring this vision out or that vision or what have you. And it's like, okay.
So is it basically you versus you? Like doubts and those moments of doubt that come up?
It could be sometimes, but not in the way like that. But it can be like, you know, are you sure you like, you know, you're trying to coddle yourself a little bit. I think the way I'll describe it is like, I may go into it thinking I'm coddling myself, but then at the end I'm willing myself. It's like, no, you have to do this. You're thinking about it. You know this is best to do. You know, now how everybody else responds to it, that's on them. I hope they go can't. It's still all love. But this is what you have to do.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I do share that viewpoint, and I think for myself it's kind of like when you mentioned, you know, something that's on your heart, you know, that you know, can't stop thinking about, and when I know that it's coming from the heart space, you know, when I know it's definitely coming from there, is when I can't stop thinking about it, and I don't know why. Okay, so when I don't know why, that's when I know it's coming from there. It's like, why the heck am I still thinking about this? And it wasn't meant for my conscious mind to decode. You know, it's like sometimes we always feel like we need to know why, like why. But that deeper desire to still stand in your truth and still do, you know, what it is that you want to do or create what you want to create.
Right, absolutely.
Okay. All right, all right. But overall, it seems like you've had a lot of support in your ventures. You know, sometimes it's, you know, I'll use the example of family. So sometimes it may be a family member who's like, why do you want to do that? You're not going to make any money. Or, you know, why do you want to do that? Nobody else in our family is an artist. Like, why are you like focused on that? But also I'd say I get more of a response from artists saying that they create their own doubt. And that's where the challenges come from. But much like doing live art, you got to be open and just explore. You know, sometimes those fears come up only because it's different. You know, it's not even anything else. It's just we done got so comfy, you know, going to, you know, our studio, and this is just what we do here that you know, you haven't been open enough to just try something different.
Absolutely. So, and once you do is you open your eyes to a lot more. I promise you. Just be like, that's what I'll just say. Be open to it. Be open to the experience. Like, you know, just let the energy, like, express your energy, and then take in the energy of everything around you. And I promise you, you will feel good. You will feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm with you. Okay. All right. We can vibe. We can definitely vibe a lot more on that because it's true. It's true. I really wholeheartedly agree with you. So aside from the challenges, we'll push that to the side for a moment. What are some really big accomplishments for you? Things that you know as an accomplishment, and not necessarily, you know, awards and trophies, but if that's something you're proud of, most definitely. But there are hurdles, you know, where folks are like, man, I made it over that hump. What are some accomplishments that really stand out for you, where you're just like, yes, I did it, or I made it, or whatever it was?
Wow. Well, I think my accomplishments, like, you know, I think they might be small in other eyes, but the fact that people,
and that's okay.
You know, for me, I think,
that's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's great. You know, whatever your accomplishments are, like, be proud. But I think my accomplishments that fulfill me the most, I'm most proud of, that people now more so know who I am. That does mean a lot.
Oh,
to me. Okay, yeah. You know, like, okay, Dave won't be here at Busboys and Poets or at Nipsey's or where have you. He's gonna be with that open mic artist, and you know, they know who I am. They know more about my style of work, my content of work. People will say like, "Yay!" Like, you want to, you know, or you know, sometimes a sale is an accomplishment for me. Is an accomplishment. It's like, you know, this is great. You know, touched you so much. that you're like, okay, I want this. I want this in my house. I want this in my kids. So that's a big accomplishment to me.
And that's huge. Yes,
you know, just interconnection through art is a big part. Right. So it's just that's what really through artwork. And I think that those when I accomplished that feat, great. You know.
Yeah, and that's huge. I mean, you know, every moment, you know, is on a deeper level, but every moment is a huge accomplishment. So, you know, once you complete the work, that's huge. When you've decided to actually say it's complete, good gracious, because I know how it is. It's just like, wait, let me just add one more, and it's like, okay, let me look at it tomorrow. But anyway, once you finish, that's already huge. That's great. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. And then I'm connecting with you on that note, having someone else who wants it, you know, not it's like we ain't even talk about the price or anything just yet. It's just the fact that you are like, oh my God, like, can I have that? That's amazing. That's beautiful. And it does something much greater than money can buy. Okay. Absolutely. Or than, you know, trophies, etc. All right, cool. Okay. That's what's up. Is there anything else?
You know, just like
that's like the heart of it, really,
you know your and then also
time.
Just like, you know, I'm sorry, say something.
Oh, I was just asking if there was if that was the reward, like the biggest reward for you.
Yeah, that's the biggest reward. And even knowing that what I'm creating is going to live a long time. I mean, I don't want to sound like one of those artists, but at the end of time, it's like, I really want to know, like, these things last way longer than I do, and they resonate longer than my existence. I can explain it so much, but I think at the end of the day, you're still going to get a mindset or like an individual thought about what this is. But I want you to understand where it came from, but then also take it on for yourself. Like, okay, well, this is what I see and what have you.
Yes.
And, you know, but I do feel a tremendous amount of pride and care that this will live longer than me. And that's something that I feel accomplished about as well.
Duly noted. Yeah, duly noted. And I'm glad that you said that. So let's rewind a little bit. It's not even rewinding, but let's flow into the next topic of how you learned to paint. How did you learn to paint? And I don't even know if there's like a, you know, I don't know. I can get so deep with it because it's like, I think essentially we're always learning, we're always growing. But at what point did you, I guess, start to feel comfortable with painting, you know? Or what was the start of that? I know you were talking about drawing and things like that growing up, but where did the transition come from drawing into paint, into feeling confident about what you're painting?
In high school, college years, that's when I started to experiment with paints and, you know, and pastels. Really, I originally started with pastels. And then
did you major? Were you an art major in college?
Yes, I was an art major in college.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an art major in college. Dual focus with painting and graphic design.
Oh, okay, graphic design. Yes. But I have things to say about the formal education of graphic design. But go ahead.
But no, it was when in high school I started with pastels, and that kind of led me into learning a little bit more how to paint and things like that. Some things I taught myself, some things I learned in school, and then even after that, I went back and kind of relearn some things myself. Like, I just really started dealing with watercolor, I would say about 2014.
I love watercolor, so yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, I like doing that because I like to do it on paper now. Like me, I'm somebody, you know, I like the feel of paper as opposed to, like, when I'm doing live art, then canvas is great. But when I'm doing like my own art, when it's tiny and things like that, I like to do it on watercolor. And then I moved to Copic markers exclusively for about 2 years, and then I would say 2 or 3 years.
You said exclusively for 2 years.
Actually, more so about 3. And then, you know, then I wanted to go back to I wanted to see if I still had watercolor. So about like the end of 2018, that's when I went back slowly but surely to go back and do watercolor and relearn how to mix markers with the watercolors. So, you know,
man.
I really
Respect. That's all I have. You know, I have, of course, I you know, support art of all kinds, and but I have so much respect for some of these, you know, different mediums and methods, because there are so many different ones, and it can be a little intimidating because I don't know it, you know, so I'm just like, whoa, you know, so when I look at that masterpiece behind you, I'm just like,
oh, thank you.
I don't even know, like, I don't know how he did it. Dave just did it, like, boom.
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right, wow. So,
thank you, I appreciate that.
You mentioned exclusively just using Copic markers, right, for about 2 years or something like that. Was that something, was that a decision where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to focus on using this and that's it? Or was it something you just really, you were flowing with and you're like, oh, I kind of like this technique? Where did that decision come from to do it for an extended amount of time?
It came from me looking at artists that I saw on social media, the artists that I really respect. Okay. I really was like, wow, like those are kind of, you know, the people I want to
art heroes.
Yeah, so it's like I wanted to kind of, and I saw them migrate to, you know, more marker art. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start using it, like, you know. And luckily, my sister, my aforementioned sister, she told me, she just asked me like, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, okay, I want some Copic markers. Right. You know, and so I got the Copic markers, but it took me about a year to actually use them. So the time she gave them to me Christmas 2014, and I started using them Christmas 2015.
Okay.
So it still took me a long time. I was still comfortable, but one day I was just like, no, I got these markers. I want to go ahead and use them and just see how they were. And then once I started to learn them and learn how they blend and how to smooth with them, and I can get those different textures with them, I fell in love. So,
all right. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm curious about that. So I have a theory, and I'm wondering what your experience is and has been like. Have you ever taken a hiatus from art, period? You just went ghost from it and you're like, I can't do this right now. Okay. Or has it always been a smooth ride for you?
I've
disappeared from the world of art.
I've taken hiatus from projects, never from art itself. Like I'm still always doodling. I'm still always drawing. I think I took hiatuses from projects, you know, and I kind of would do that to kind of like clear my head and be like, where do I want to go next?
Okay, so what has been the longest extent that you can think of where you were just like, okay, we're going to put this project to the side, and you didn't revisit that for a while, we'll say?
Probably a few months. Like I did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not necessarily years or anything.
No.
All right.
Not at all.
That's all right. Okay. Cool. I am with that. So, we got some questions. Folks are popping them in the little question mark card stack here. So let's go ahead and get into those.
Okay.
Let's check those out. Okay. So, Cassian says or asks, Dave, what's your most emotional driven piece of art you've ever done? Okay, there's a question.
Oh boy.
But you're like, but I connect with all of them emotionally. Right. You know what I mean? All right.
I would say right now, honestly, this one, like I'm like really proud of it. So, and you know, the female version, like I can't wait to show y'all that. I've actually played with a concept right here, and I feel like, you know, I feel like it came out in ways that I didn't perceive. I didn't originally think it was going to come out. Like I thought about lineage, but I didn't think about patriarchy, and this feels like a father to son thing. And I was like, oh wow,
you hit us with that. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't anticipate that, but I'm glad it happened. So you know,
that is beautiful.
Yeah. So,
okay. Yeah, good. Okay. All right. Good response. I'm with that. And thank you, Cassian, for that question.
Thank you, Cassian.
Okay, so Kaylee287 has a question. What's your favorite medium out of all of the different ones you dabble in?
Hey, Kaylee. How you doing?
Good question. Thank you, Kaylee.
I would say when I'm by myself, when I'm in my zone, when I'm by myself, it's watercolors and markers. When I'm in the zone at my live art, it is acrylics.
Okay. All right.
It can be both. When I got the energy at both, I can do it. So yeah.
Shout out to you with acrylic, man. Oh my gosh, like shout out to you. That's all I'm gonna say. I've had, I've tried a lot of different forms of art, and acrylic was one of those that to me was like, I'm gonna step back. Okay, I'm gonna step back from this for a minute. But yeah, much respect. All right, and we have another question from Alanosis. What words of wisdom can you offer aspiring artists? Okay, this is for that person who's a biology major and they haven't actually focused on art, although they are very intrigued and they're aspiring to be an artist. So what kind of advice could you offer them?
Like I said earlier, be open. Be open to what you want to do. Be open to what you feel like you need to impart in this world and in this life.
Say that.
You'll know. You will definitely know. Just kind of sit there and just like be meditative with yourself.
That's right.
Be open to yourself and just be like, yeah, okay. You will honestly know once you kind of like clear all the noise out. You will know, like, nah, this is what I'm supposed to do. And once you have that resolve, just go about the journey and have fun with it. Have fun with this journey because it is a beautiful journey. It really is.
I think
it's not a struggle, but it is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. I feel that's very critical. What you had said that really made me respond is that enjoyment factor. If it feels tough, then maybe you might need to rethink what direction you're moving in, So, but staying in that flow of enjoyment that's critical. That's critical. I know it's been critical for me. It's like, if I'm not enjoying it, then I really take a step back and say, okay, do I need to move in that direction or can I change something? But yeah, you really listen to your heart.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Good feedback. Well, I appreciate all your responses to all of our questions. I have so many more questions, but I really do. Like, I'm looking at my notepad over here, but I'm like, we're gonna move forward to the next segment. So do you have any questions for me?
Oh, wow.
Pull out a notebook.
I mean, and I'm really glad we did this. I know we've been talking for a while because I'm really glad I check you out, and I really respect what you're doing.
Cool.
Really, I really see how you've been getting a lot of people to go, wow, turn my thing around.
All good.
I see how you've been talking to people and really asking good questions. So I do check you out. I want to ask, like, what got you into this? Like, what made you want to say, I want to be, as you call it, Oprah? I like that. Oprah. But what made you want to
Oprah? It is kind of reflecting on what I mentioned earlier, what you mentioned, and then I connected with that, and that is to really just have a moment where I'm not sure why. Okay, the conscious mind is looking for the why. Okay, I'm looking for the how, looking for the why. But then I really ask myself, what do I really enjoy? And where I've gotten caught up over the years is I took the problem and I made something greater of it. Okay, so the problem was Electra loves everything art. Okay? Like, oh my gosh, like, I love to dabble in all kinds of things. I mean, we could go down a whole list. I mean, from ceramics to photography to painting to screen printing. I mean, you name it, like everything. Right. So I took that and really said, well, what's the deal with that? Well, the deal is that I just love art, period. So why not just express that and share that? So I started just doing story posts, of people's artwork, and I was just going ham because that's just who I am, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this one. Oh my God, I love this one. Oh my God, I love that, right? So I just kind of stayed afloat with that. It's just really a combination of the background of performance art that I've had growing up. I always love getting in front of the camera ever since I can remember. In front of the camera, I love to talk to audiences, people, crowds. Like, I love that. It's just a part of me. It's not anything where, I just like attention. It's like, I just love it. I'm in flow. So taking those elements of performance and that love for art, and it just kind of, it kind of just merged together. And really although you and I both know there's no such thing as accidents, but really by accident, I didn't actually like just pause, think, what should I do? It just kind of happened. So I love it. I really love and enjoy what I do. But I always put it back out there and say that the artists are the fuel. Y'all are the ones that fuel what I do. Because if you didn't do what you do, then how I wouldn't have any kind of content. I wouldn't have anyone to interview, you know? So yeah, I guess if that answers the question.
No, it does. It does a great, it definitely answers my question. I mean, like I said, I've been, that's why I'm really glad this happened. I know we've been in communication and things like
that. Yeah, I am too.
I'm really glad this happened. So.
All right. Well, yeah, I certainly appreciate your question. So, I don't know if you realize we always do some kind of relaxed game, although I do put that in the interview prep info, but not everybody reads that. So not everyone reads that.
Oh, no.
Be like, we're about to do a game. But yes, we are going to do a word game of sorts to relax and close out this interview. So are you ready? I'll explain the rules.
I'm ready.
Okay, so the rules are very simple, actually, Dave. Very simple. I am going to call off a color. You just tell me the very first thing that comes to mind, okay? Object, usually is an object for people, but the object, whatever comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
All right. You have to be quick about it, okay? So it's like 2 to 3 seconds. If you can't think of a object or anything that you can associate with it, then we're just gonna move on, okay? Don't get you can't get it wrong, but if you can't think of something, then we're just gonna scoot right along, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, you ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Okay, first color is red.
Passion.
Hey, okay. Oh, I have a feeling that you're gonna have some pretty epic answers. Oh my gosh, it can't be simple. These are gonna be epic answers.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
All right. And there are 10. I'm only asking 10 colors.
Okay.
Next color is pink. Pink. First thing that comes to mind. Bam.
Sweetness.
Okay. All right. Good response. Next color is orange. First thing.
Bright.
Bright.
Yeah, bright.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. I asked orange to somebody and they said orange. I'm like, you know what? This is going nowhere, okay? All right, next color is purple. Purple.
Royalty.
Royalty. I've heard that 3 times. Yeah, good. Okay. Or purple rain. That's what came to my mind. Okay. Next color is white.
Clear.
Clear. Okay, I'm with it. Next is black.
Love.
Love. Wait, what did you say for red? Oh, you said passion for red. All right, okay. That's different. Next color is green. What does green exude? First thing.
Peace.
Peace. How do you associate peace with green?
Green, grass, serenity.
Oh, kind of like like nature. Okay, a natural color. All right. Next color is yellow.
Yellow. Say bright. Shine.
Shine. Okay. Oh, you did say bright. What's that? Oh, for orange.
Yeah.
Look. Folks put in the comments black habits, black love, black love. Right. Okay. All right. Your next color is turquoise. Turquoise.
Aqua.
Okay. All right. Good. These are good answers. And your final color is brown.
Brown. Skin.
Brown skin. Okay. All right. Okay, Dave. I see you. Some good answers. Kind of let me gauge a little more about how you think. Okay, I'm with that. And I have 2 questions. That they're questions for kicks. Okay?
Okay.
So, your first question is, if you could work on a project with a music artist, y'all are collaborating, who would that music artist be and why?
Whoa.
Y'all have a collaboration. So who's the music artist you would team up with? Your choice.
Wow. That's a beautiful question. Nobody's asked me that one before.
I might call you and give you that one. Like, Dave, I got this music artist. Hey. Because I remember that interview that we had, and you said if you had to team up with someone, who would it be and why?
Okay. You're going to think I'm kind of weird, but like all the people I want to work with are dead. So,
oh, okay. Okay. That's okay. So who would it be? Who would it be for you?
Marvin Gaye.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. My dad loves Marvin Gaye. Yes. Yes. Okay, and why? Why?
The passion he has in his music, the passion he has about telling you his life, and that he exudes about, you know, how he can talk about what went on, what's going on, to let's get it on, like talk about what he wants, and then also talk about what he feels like the world needs.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, like
powerful,
very powerful.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, Dave. Good questions. We're going 8 layers deep. Okay. Okay, viewers, were you ready? I wasn't ready. Okay. All right. Nice. So, well, I'm going to ask you a different one, because you did say most of the folks that you admire, as far as musicians, have passed. But okay, so my next question. Okay, one day, only one day, for one day, you can have a superpower. Which one would you choose? And the superpower options are invisibility or flying. Invisibility or flying. Which one and why? Which one and why?
And that's the thing, because I love comic books. I'm glad you put that out there, like, as a selection, because like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't know. But between the two of those, I say flying. You know, flying. Go around and you can see people. You can go to different places. You can see different cultures. You know, you can experience different things, and you don't have to pay a lot for luggage. So it's just like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I would want.
Okay. All right, good point and a really good response. So awesome, Dave. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that we have had this time, and that you have time to get together with us. And thank you to our viewers for joining us, for sure.
Thanks, guys. I see Khan and
I know he is the art plug. Like, this guy has put me on to so many people, and thankfully put me on to you also, Dave. So yeah, much respect. Also, Dave, after the interview, when I post the IGTV version, if you will drop in the comments any artists that you'd like for me to check out, or like your sister, for example.
Oh yeah.
But any other artists that you'd like for me to check their work, and
I definitely will
see what I could do for them or with them also.
I definitely will. Thank you. Thanks again, Dream.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you, Dave. And I'll be messaging you later on, okay?
Okay. Appreciate it. Take care.
All right. I'll close it out from this side.
All right. Ooh. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, y'all. So I hope that you learned quite a bit from that interview. I know that I did, not only about Dave, but about some other areas such as technique and, like his choice of mediums and areas that he explored. So shout out to all of y'all for joining us. Much love. RTA stands for? I didn't hear you. RTA stands for respect the artists, y'all. That's all we do. We promote, we respect the artists. Rule number one, okay? Don't break rule number one. Rule number two, don't break rule number one again, all right? So DreamAloud, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube. Click the link in my bio. You do all of that, okay? Do all that. You already know the deal. Do all that. Peace from here to the far east, y'all. Much love. Holla.